Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to Moscow, and welcome to quite literally the side of a very busy highway, and welcome to quite possibly the largest car dealership in Russia, and I want to show it to you, so let's go. I was waiting for a bit of a pause in the traffic. It's a little bit difficult. This is where we want to go and see. This place right here, this is car lovers heaven, or at least new car lovers heaven. It's a 7-story car dealership. It's called Moscow-Tyanja, and we're gonna go on in there. This is the associated buildings next to it, which is where you can go and get things like car parts, you can go and get your car serviced, there is car detailers there. Now what we want to do is go to this place right here, and I'm going to take you for a walk around and have a look and see what cars we can get in Moscow in 2025. Before I go on inside, I just want to give you a few things to keep in mind. Now this may be a long video, so just have a look at the timestamp of how long it is, because it's a very big place, and I just want to go for a general walk around and show you the amount of cars in here and just the enormity of this place as a JCB goes driving by. And the other thing too, if you've not seen any of my videos on the channel and you've been recommended this one, I'm not a car person. I love seeing them, I love looking at them, I love the fact they get me from A to B, and that's all. I'm not really knowledgeable about the different models. However, I think that doesn't really matter today, and I can just show you what's in this place. So I hope you're ready. If you are interested in this particular place, I will put all the information about where it is in the description. Now, I came here by metro, and the nearest one is Domodedoevskaya metro station, and this is the Domodedoevskaya region. Actually, probably more notably for a lot of people who aren't from Russia, this is where the airport is, or one of 4 airports in Moscow. It's actually not immediately here. It's about 30 minutes further down the main highway. But a lot of people get off the metro here thinking they're close to the airport, and they're really not. Now, just looking at the lobby area here, there's just a few vehicles parked up. Toyota Tundra right there, a couple of Mercedes. Now I will quote a lot of the brand names of the cars, but the specifics I'm not probably quite as versed in. Just some technical details about this place, because this is very interesting. This is the largest car dealership in Russia, and it's the largest car dealership in Europe, I understand. Now, of course, someone may mention something otherwise. In the actual building that I'm walking in, and then the building next door where a lot of the cars are parked also, they have 6,000 cars available, or for sale, give or take a couple. And they have 70 dealerships that are in here, or companies selling vehicles. Now it's spread over 6 levels. One thing that's super interesting is in the basement of this place is the largest Chinese restaurant in Russia, which is something that's quite interesting, or an interesting stat. So right here, as we come in on this lower level, what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk around slowly on each level and just look at the cars and, let's say, be impressed by the fact that they've got every model of car here. Now, as a whole, this is a multi-car dealership, and also multiple companies as well. And the very vast majority of the vehicles here are all brand new dealer kilometer cars. And of course, there'll be quite a few where we don't know the brands, and then there'll be quite a few that we do. Ford Ranger. Now, what's super interesting, or I think it is a lot of these are very well-known Western brands, but they're coming to Russia from China. So either they're getting imported to Russia from China, or they're manufactured in China. Chevy Tahoe right there, all black edition. Now, the one thing that is nearly impossible to do as part of this video, unless I was to do it another way around, is to talk about the prices. So about 90% of the cars that are here don't have a price tag on them, and it's all just price on application. There is some cars where they've got the sticker in the corner, and most of them don't. You just go up to the dealer for them and they'll tell you the price. So what I might do is each level I'll do one part of the video and then we'll move on. So on the actual badges on the front are the car dealership names right here, and probably in the background as I walked around, and I will keep walking around, you'll see desks with the salespeople. Audi e-tron. This is a very nice color of car, by the way. So here we see Hyundai, Toyota, over here a Range Rover, Zeekr. And what's really interesting when I've seen the BMWs is these are Chinese-made BMWs. You can see the actual Chinese insignia on them right there, and just super interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna maybe have to cut here and there. Have a look at this Ram 1500. If you're into trucks or four-wheel drives, pretty sure this lower level Jeep Rubicon. There is some pretty impressive vehicles here. If you do know any of them or they look familiar, perhaps timestamp it and put the name in the comments, because I think a lot of people know them better than I do. Chevy High Country. That's a big vehicle. Where the heck do you park that in Moscow? You need a big garage, or you need a lot of parking spaces. Dodge Ram Hurricane. This is bigger than me. This is a big car. So as I'm walking around, you'll see right here there is individual dealers, and they either focus on one category of car or they have different brands. As you can see here, 2025 Li Ying L7. I'm very curious for people watching around the world how many different Chinese brands you might be able to see, because it's really just fascinating, the cars over here. Some different Lexus models, Chevy Suburban. Wow. Just to give you a little bit of background, I've actually walked around this dealership for about the last hour or so, and going to all the different levels, and chatted to some of the dealers where they want to have a chat about the cars, and it's just fascinating, this place. Now, maybe to the average person who owns a car, you've been to a car dealership before, and this is nothing special. However, the fact there's 6,000 cars in here, between the showroom where I am and then next door there is a 4 or 5 level parking garage with the backup cars to these cars. That's what just blows my mind about how big it is, and I hope it comes across as that on the video. One thing that they keep pointing out, the dealers, about the different cars, so where I'm seeing BMW and Mercedes, most of them are Chinese manufactured and then brought to Russia. And of course, the Chinese brands are coming directly from there. But of course, you know, a lot of the Western car dealerships or car manufacturers have production in different countries around the world. So even Hyundai right there. And then we've got Link & Co. So if you know some of these models, Toyota, I think it's a bit of a giveaway. Volkswagen Terramont Pro. So there's quite a mix of models of cars, and these are brand spanking new. These are either 2024 or 2025 models, depending on each car as you walk around. The Chinese restaurant that I was mentioning a little earlier is in the ground floor of the building, and it covers this whole space. And then have a look at this middle interior here and this car lift that they've got with the cars all attached to these chains going right up to the top level, and then each level is cars on top of cars, quite literally. And then all of these cars, how they get them in and out of here, I don't know. I have to think there is a car lift somewhere. This is rather interesting. This is Xiaomi YU7 Max. And please let me know if you've seen this in person before. Somebody told me it looks kind of similar to Ferrari or Lamborghini. If anybody can quote that. This color is super nice. 8.2 million rubles. Now I won't do any conversions where there's a sign on them. I'll just point them out, and then if you want to check them out. So this is obviously electric, or perhaps hybrid. YU7 Max. That's a beautiful color of car. So it's quite literally plugged in just to the socket right there. What a vehicle. And you've got a couple of bigger four-wheel drives here. Nissan Armada, 13 million rubles. Platinum Reserve Edition. I just want to highlight a couple of models here that are really interesting. This is BYD Denza. Now, please tell me if these are in other countries. Have a look at this interior, and then in the back you've got the, I guess they're called captain's chairs, I'm not sure, but these screens everywhere, and then there's not even wing mirrors, there's cameras in the side panels. Wow.
Auto doors, opening, closing, four doors.
Wow. So you don't even have to close the door yourself. Automatic.
This car only me.
Okay, understand.
Yeah.
The Xiaomi right here is being compared around the world with the Ferrari Purosan. So if you know that model, then the look and feel, but of course this is Xiaomi, so very interesting. 0 to 100 in 3.23 seconds. For not being a car guy, I can read the flyer, and it's got Brembo brakes. Actually, have a look at the size of the brake discs. Michelin tires, stunning. I just want to show you just something really interesting here. So there's BMW parked here, Honda over there, and they've got an MG here. This is MG5, and this is the cheapest car in the dealership. 1.4 million rubles. And then from here, prices go up really to as much as you like. And have a look inside. Absolutely simple as it comes. Not quite as many fancy gadgets as the Xiaomi. And if you need the cheapest car in the dealership, this is it right here. Coming up one level, this is where it gets very interesting. Now there is a little bit more space up here as well. People aren't really fighting for the first spot when you first come in. There is plenty of different models here and some very interesting cars. So you'll see here the signs, and these are all the different vendors or dealers that are selling the cars. And then from here, there is every possible model that your heart desires in every possible price category. And then again, we can find American cars, Chinese cars, cars from anywhere we like. It's really interesting. Now, I will walk around swiftly. So pretty much all the cars, of course, none of them are registered. They've got their certificates in the window, which would have been from when they came out of the factory. And then how they make it here to Russia, that's what I'm more interested in. Tiguan L Pro, Volkswagen. What's really interesting, and I know I'm going to say this a lot as I repeat myself, is just quite randomly in the corners of this building, you know, there's Range Rover Evoque right there, different models of Audi, essentially any model of BMW you may possibly like, or Audis. And then there's sprinkled in all of the Chinese brands. Voyage, Zika. So this is 001. I'm not too sure each one. So these labels on here are all the Chinese labels. And it's a matter of walking around them a couple of times. Hopefully we don't get too nauseous from doing that. I was interested which model this is. Oh, this is the James Bond 007. Michelin tires. Aito M9. Looks quite similar to the Mercedes Maybach with this two-tone finish. So plenty of different models. Now when you actually speak to the dealers, it gets a little bit more interesting, because if the car you want isn't parked here, it's probably parked in the garage next door. Is this a Chrysler? I'm not sure, but it's a big car. Whichever model this is. Random Mercedes parked in the back. So as I've been walking around before I started filming, and then now, I've got to meet a few of these different guys at the dealerships, and then a few of them I didn't speak to, and then the gentleman just came up to me now. He said, "Which car would you like?" As in, name a model, and either I have it or I can get it. So it's so interesting that in 2025, when the S word is thrown around so much, I'm talking about sanctions, how it doesn't seem to affect the car market, because everything can be either purchased here in Russia or brought to Russia by some means. These are very cool cars. The Suzuki Jimny, or Jimny, I think is the right word. And there's a couple of different models here. And I wonder, it's got Discovery Channel Asia on the side. I wonder if it's like a limited edition with the roof rack. And then on the other one, it's got the ladder at the back and then the spare wheel. These are very cool. These are Japanese imported cars. And then how they eventually make it here, that's the question on everyone's lips. And parked behind, there's Porsche Cayenne. In the description of the video, I will put the website for this particular place, because they've got a general website where they've got all of the cars listed. I love how this guy has got the models written right there, and then anything else he'll be able to find it or source it and then bring it here. And then up on these signs here are all the individual dealers. Toyota, BMW. Did they start putting the grills in different directions at some point? Is this the new models that they're doing that? As I come off the escalator on the next level, just for a minute, have a look at how many Mercedes and BMWs are on this level. So right through to the corner over here, they are parked 3 or 4 deep. 2025 BMW X7, another X7, X3. Here's a late model Mercedes. It looks like it's been perhaps modified a little. So there is a few cars in here that are trade-ins, but the vast majority are all brand new cars, literally 2025 editions. This green X6. So these do have the prices on, which makes it a lot easier for the guy at the front there, because I'm sure as people come and walk around, you know, how much is this one? How much is that one? Now, generally when you go to dealerships, they've got a QR code on the windscreen, and you can just scan that and it takes you straight to the link of that car. As I shuffle past Right here is this Infinity, and then Toyota Capstone. It's just car after car. Lexus GX. One thing that's really interesting with a lot of these premium cars or luxury cars is a lot of them are in color. And there is a lot of talk about the Russian car market where all of them come out of the factory in white paint finish. And then of course, these being imported cars or traded in cars, they're in every color you like. And of course, brand new models, Geely Coupe AMG. And there's Mercedes SL. Just a few G-Wagons parked here. Just car after car. Range Rover. I wonder if this is the Autograph or signature model perhaps. As I was just pressing record now, I had to check my screen for a minute because it looked like it was in black and white. But just the cars, there is a bit of a love affair with luxury cars and this all black finish. And you can basically see all of the models here that are finished in black color. There's just black car, black car, black car. Actually, have a look at this blue paint finish. That is very cool. Toyota Land Cruiser 2025. Oh, 2022 Range Rover. So the gentleman at the counter just now that I was just talking to there said that his dealership is brand new models and then some late models. So they'll generally be trade-ins. This is interesting. Toyota Center Tbilisi. So I wonder if that's come from Georgia. I think quite possibly. V300D. Another Land Cruiser. And then some more classic models. Genesis. There's a late model RAV4. But just endless cars, they just keep going and going. So I'm pretty sure that what happens is people who have older models trade them in and then either trade up or trade down, whatever they want to do. And then you end up with a place like this. I wasn't sure of the badge of this car right here, but it's a Cupra. It's actually got this matte finish paint on it. Very nice. I like this matte finish. It sets it apart from all of the other hundreds of black vehicles. There's a Maybach right here. These Mercedes vans. Another Land Cruiser. And then late model Infinity. I mean, do people buy them and then just keep them in the garage and barely drive them? Is that the goal? I'm not sure. I mean, those are in pristine condition. And I guess for the resale value, you know, you don't need to do too much. Wow. So you can actually see on the sign here, My Auto, Toyota and Lexus. So I think at least this corner of the building has all of the same brands. You can even see there they've still got the factory plastic for when it comes off the ship. BMWs for days. It's always interesting when I come out to make videos and I come to somewhere like this, because today particularly I'm probably the scruffiest looking, and my mum, if you're watching, I'm sorry. When I go home today or back home, I'm going to see my barber and I'm going to be looking about 7 years younger, and I've come to this dealership with luxury cars and I perhaps look like the opposite of someone that's planning to buy one in here as I'm walking around. So there's another dealership here, so there's obviously quite a lot as I walk around, and this one has the Hyundai logo, and then as I swing around you'll see here also Nissan and Geely, and I think obviously Chinese cars on the other side. However, they have quite a lot of Nissan cars. Of course, they're very well known worldwide, and it's just interesting the amount of different models that they have, and also brand new models. And I need to say this a few times as I've walked around, because it's so interesting. These are cars that you would commonly see at a Nissan dealership, but we're finding them here. These are literally, as I would call it, straight off the boat, if that makes sense. All the stickers and labels and logos are on them. Got Nissan X-Trail, and then of course they're without plates, because once you purchase it you do all the licensing and things like that. Pathfinder 380, so super interesting. Now of course I will put all the information about where I am here, so if you're interested or you are in Moscow, I think it's definitely somewhere that you should come and check out. So my hope during this video, I was going to be able to talk to somebody that's from this dealership. Now let everybody know what your name is.
My name is Vladimir.
Vladimir, okay, very well known name. And where are you from?
I'm from Moscow, originally.
Originally from Moscow. And now I've come to this dealership.
Okay.
And of course I've just walked around.
Okay.
Now I understand there's about 70 dealerships here.
Yeah.
And I bumped into you.
Okay.
Now your dealership right here, or this corner I guess.
Yeah.
What's your main focus of vehicles?
The main focus is Nissan cars. We have the biggest Nissan car stock almost in Russia, or actually for sure in Russia. Also we have other brands. It's Lexus, Hyundai, Geely, Aita brand, other Chinese brands. But mostly we're specific in Nissan cars. Actually for me, I work for this brand for a long time. So we have different models, SUVs, we have sedan, our customers can choose, and different items, competitions inside the cars.
Now I have one question.
Okay.
Now actually when I'm doing this little interview, I didn't prepare ahead really.
Okay.
This is my normal thing. If we want to test drive this car right behind me,
Okay.
How?
We're gonna go over there, or we're gonna do the special lift for their cars. Over
There is a car lift
Yeah.
that goes to the street level.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering how you take the car from the corner here.
Yeah.
And one thing I did notice while I've been in here, very few cars get started. Is there some rule about that, or like revving the car and starting it, or?
They started. I mean, you mean you cannot turn on the engine?
Yeah, right. Is that maybe that's?
They are not. Some cars are staying here for a long time, and they are not charged.
Right, which with new cars, right? So the cars that you're selling here are all new models, like
All new.
fresh, crispy,
Yeah.
plastic on the seats.
Yeah.
And do you have a favorite car?
My favorite one,
Yes,
for sure, it's this one.
the
It's
Nissan
Pathfinder.
Pathfinder.
Yeah, it's new generation of Nissan Pathfinder in the world. It's the first market which started to sell these cars. It's Chinese market. Even American customers cannot buy this car. Only Chinese. That's why it's specific one. I like this. It is super luxury inside. I advise you guys to buy it right now. I give you the super price. And ask my friend. For sure, we will find the agreement.
Now, one thing I just noticed while we were chatting. So we
Okay.
were chatting for a few minutes off camera.
Okay.
The minute we start talking about cars, your eyes
Yeah.
light up. So I think you've been in the industry a lot of years.
Yeah, for sure.
And how many years about?
From 2007
Okay, so
or 2007.
yeah, right. So 18 years. That's
20 years.
Twe-
Approximately years. 20
Wow. So you've seen every model of Nissan car.
From the time.
So this Nissan Pathfinder,
Yeah.
I can't buy in a lot of Western countries.
Yeah.
And it's here in Moscow.
Here in Moscow.
Now, one more question. I'm going to have a couple more, maybe. What's your opinion of Chinese cars?
Original Chinese or produced in China?
Right. This is very interesting because I've mentioned this while I've walked around, that there is some Mercedes
Yeah.
cars made in China.
Yeah.
BMW is made in China.
Yeah.
And then there's Chinese brands,
Yeah.
obviously made in China. Now, what's your take on this? Because it's become a hot topic, right?
Yeah.
In Russia, that all of the Western brands are no longer here.
Yeah.
I think this video is dispelling this.
Yeah.
And yet, there's a Nissan right behind us.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Is China going to take over?
Yeah. First of all, the original brands, I mean Nissan or others which are producing in China, have the same level of quality.
Right.
In terms of more expertise, sorry, I think that quality not less worth than those cars which were produced in America or Europe.
Wherever the Nissan factory was.
Yeah. It's like the hamburger. It's the same taste in all countries.
Right, the Big Mac or the whatever the what's the other brands? Burger King, for instance.
Burger King, yeah, for sure.
The one in Russia is the same as it is in Australia.
Yeah.
So, also one thing I did notice as well as I walked around is a lot of different colors of cars.
Yeah.
So quite famously, a lot of the cars manufactured in Russia are all white.
Yeah.
But in this dealership, red, blue,
Yeah.
a lot of black cars.
Yeah.
Is that a thing in Russia? People like
Different colors.
black cars?
Black cars, also white cars, but actually for me, I have the gray car.
Oh,
I like the because it's dirty in the winter.
Yes.
And all dirty.
Right.
But not.
now,
simple.
if I buy this today,
Okay.
how quickly can I drive it away? If I have the money in my pocket.
Right now, we can just sign the contract.
But what about the plates? Well, obviously we're going to go to the licensing center.
You have 10 days.
So you can drive. So
Police, 10 days.
Okay. So we can literally take a car.
Yeah, and go to the street. No problem. Actually, we have the special service. If you want, you can receive the plate from us for extra per payment.
Like a pre-done package.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
2 or 3 hours, approximately.
Okay, and then one of your guys goes to get the
Yeah.
plate and brings it back.
Yeah. No problem.
So thank you so much,
Thank you.
Vladimir. I hope we can perhaps be on another video.
Yeah.
If anybody is curious about the topic of cars in Russia,
Okay.
now I will put your information in the description of the video.
Thank you.
And if maybe someone might contact you
Okay.
or ask you about cars or your... Now, of course, if you're in Russia, you can come here.
Okay.
So this is the largest dealership
Yeah, for sure.
for sure. How did I not know about this?
I think that's really the largest.
How did I not know about this before? Actually, 3 days ago, someone recommended I come here, who was a BMW car fan.
Yeah.
And he told me, you've got to come here. So we hope to be in another video.
Yeah.
Thank
Me
you.
too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
As I come up to the next level, I just want to say a big shout out to Vladimir. And I quite literally met him a few minutes before we started making the interview. I never do any rehearsals, just letting him know that I'll ask him a few questions. And his knowledge of cars in Russia and the car industry here is amazing. I mean, a young guy, there's nothing he doesn't know about buying a car here, selling a car, and choosing a car. And that's something that I really like, that when you meet somebody that they're not the salesperson, you know, which of course we know famously car salesmen can be quite interesting in their demeanor, but I will put his contact in the description of the video. So if you are interested in speaking to someone about cars, of course, being that he's from Moscow, he speaks Russian, but his English language is also great too. If you were perhaps not able to speak in Russian to him, or you're maybe an expat that lives here. Looks like I might have a bit of competition. I don't quite have the beard of this guy, but he must have a YouTube channel. And I'm fairly sure this also is his dealership up here. There is a few very nice Porsche cars. And I think what he must specialize in is American trucks, because there is Dodge Rams parked around this whole corner here. Check this Jeep out as well. Very nice. Chevy over there, and these different Dodge Ram trucks. I just have trouble wanting to park it somewhere or try and do like reversing in these things. I mean, they're just such big vehicles. I mean, I know in America they're incredibly popular. The 1500. So these are all fresh off the boat. We always say that in Australia because of the fact that cars are imported and we're an island. Look how big these things are. You can see the suspension right there. This one's actually even got the rope around it to make it look a little bit more fancier. Final edition. Is there something we don't know about these? Perhaps someone knows more than I do. And we come over to some Mercedes. One thing that Vladimir was mentioning to me off camera was about some of these cars where they're 1 or 2 years old. So they're purchased in other countries as brand new cars and then brought here to be sold as brand new cars. And a lot of them are quite unique models that are not available in Russia, or they're one-off cars that are only one in the country. Another Jeep tucked away. These Toyota Land Cruisers are very popular in Australia. This model right here. LX V6. I wonder who is Berlin City. So there's a lot of bigger vehicles on this level. And check out we've got Cybertruck with lots of fingerprints on it. However, there is one parked up here. It almost gets overshadowed by all of these other American trucks. I'm not sure what this is. So it's such a big deal at the time when the Cybertruck became available, and the fact that Tesla is not in Russia, but yet they have Cybertrucks sitting here in a dealership for you to purchase and drive away. Zika 009. This black color of vehicle continues all the way down the way. Here's a car that I do recognize. Very famous brand Rolls-Royce. The Cullinan black badge. Beautiful car. I've never sat in one. I've never been driven anywhere in one. I've got another one back here. And then, I don't know which brand this is. Is this Lexus? Black badge again. With like an orange interior. Okay, Global Auto. So I think these are Infinities. And then, is this Bentley, I think? Looks like Bentley. So just car after car parked up, and just a lot of unique models. Another Chinese brand. Oh, this is BYD. The QIN DMI. So that stands for Build Your Dreams. I do know that part. Oh, this is nice. So I understand it's true that BYD recently took over the electric car sales from Tesla. So they sell more BYDs than Tesla. Have a look at this Maybach GLS 600 with that 2-color paint job. Check out the wheels as well. So it's just amazing. Now, Vladimir did mention to me that we could perhaps make a video with him walking around talking about the different models. So please mention that in the comments, and I'll arrange a time to come back when we can walk around and show the vehicles, or go from car to car and ask his opinion of them, because obviously there is quite a lot of Chinese cars here, and like he said, there is Chinese branded cars, and then there's cars made in China. So a lot of the Western brands have manufacturing in China that they've then allowed the cars to be imported to Russia Very nice Audi here. And then, is this Geely? Maybe? If you'd like to know the car that I would like to have, it would be a Porsche in some form. Now, I'm not sure if I'd want a white Porsche because it would get dirty very quickly. Here in Russia with all the snow, it wouldn't look so beautiful straight away. And have a look at this 911 Targa here. GTS. This I would happily have a drive in. Wow. Is it GT5 or GTS? And with the soft top roof as well. Or is it a hard top roof? I thought just for a minute or two I'd pop my head in the next building because the guys in the dealerships were saying that they've got some shops over here that are selling the parts, particularly for Chinese cars, and all of the original parts and then some of the OEM parts. And there's this very interesting lower ground floor here that has almost anything you need in any model, any brand, any color, any size. Now I think this lower level was something else previously and they've modified it to these individual shops. If you are in the market for original car parts and then some of the main dealer parts, you can get them here. Now just walking around, so there's a few shops that are open, some that aren't. Now I'm here a little bit later than when I first started filming, but you can get the front grills of the tank car. I think there's Geely, Jatua. There's a back bonnet. Maybe we need a new steering wheel. They have steering wheels working very hard. And just shop after shop of the parts on racking and shelving. This is interesting. So there's the car brands right here, and then Milwaukee tools, which is super interesting. I wish that was open to have a look inside. So there's shops that look like they're just opening. This looks very new here. So they've obviously done some changing around of the whole place. Just look at how many car wings they've got and doors. And if you need the front grills and bumpers, they have them. And just shop after shop of spare parts. Perhaps you're in the market for some Cherry Tiggo parts, and then you've got places like this which have all of the stuff just in abundance here, all of the grills and doors and spare parts. And if there was any wonder if it's possible to get the spare parts for cars in Russia, somewhere like this, I think, is a little bit of proof of that. Now, there is quite a lot of these to see. I'm just walking through one door and out the other. And if you need any front parts of the car, right here. There's another one over here with belts for the engines. And these are basically spare parts dealers. They've got engine oils, filters. I didn't actually walk through here at all, so I was curious what they have. Now I am here quite late in the afternoon, so some businesses aren't open and some are. But all of these little shops that have all the different parts and accessories for cars. And they have all the brand and information on top. And then it's just a matter of finding the shop you need and the parts. You can even get the air conditioning, grills, all of the trim pieces, head units, lights. This is quite something. They have all of the brand stickers on the window, and then when you come inside, all of the different parts are laid out. So there's clutch plates right here and alternators. It's quite staggering. So what I understand, actually, some of these aren't rented, and then some of them are rented purely as storage. And they've got things absolutely stacked up. Bonnets for cars right there. So there is somebody bringing these in. I don't think there's anything like this in Australia, where I can walk in and buy a brand new door for a car like this. As I head on out and I come to the end of the video, I really hope you found this interesting. I am a little bit worried it's a long video, but that's very normal for what I keep and what I make on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching, and also thank you to Vladimir for the impromptu interview. As the sun gets a little bit lower, I don't know why I'm possibly wearing a hoodie today, because it's actually really nice and warm outside, and I need to walk towards the metro. It's about an hour and a half for me to get home from here. I've got 2 trains to catch, and I can also catch a bus as well, depending on which way I want to go home the quickest. Thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know some of the models of cars if you recognize them. Might be interesting that I've seen something that you know, and definitely I don't know. And I just think it's such an interesting place to have come and made a video, and how I only found out about it 3 days ago is quite beyond me, because I always feel like I know all the places in Moscow, and then somewhere else just surprises me with something else new and different. So I hope these videos are enlightening. And did I mention the word sanctions? I think maybe once in the video. And I didn't record one of the last guys that I was talking to. I'd met when I first arrived and when I was leaving. And he said to me, he said, "You see, every car in Russia you can get, it's no problems." And that's his words. And of course, that place being a multi-car dealership, there's obviously a very big assortment of cars that are there. Obviously not brand specific dealerships. And it's very true. You can find places like this. You can find them online. Vladimir even said there, if there's another model I don't sell, I can help you buy that one, or if I can somehow get it to sell it. So it's just really interesting. And I've actually enjoyed my day, mostly meeting the different people that work there, chatting to them. I saw a pretty cool Land Cruiser which are hugely popular in Australia. And the guy was really interested when I showed him the car sales website in Australia, the different models, and just to compare prices. So he was very interested, the Russian price versus the Australian price. So thanks everybody, thumbs up, post some comments, and then if you want to join me on Telegram, as the cars get that little bit louder, it's right here. And then if you want to watch an old video on the channel, it's right here. You can see something different and keep traveling with Russell. Okay everybody, I'm off on another adventure. Bye.